Do you have trouble opening jars? Well, my mom does, and she recently hurt her right arm, which makes it even more difficult for her to open jars. So I found this RoboTwist electric jar opener. It says opens jars with the push of a button. It says it opens the toughest jars. Well, I've been testing it today on these jars and a few others around my house, and I can tell you it opens most of them, but not all of them. So that's what we're going to review today. I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So welcome to Cooking and Storing with Dan and Wayne. Let's get on with this product review. After you get your RoboTwist electric jar opener out of the package, you'll find the user's manual. I always recommend people, please read through the user's manual. I know you're going to say that stuff is boring, I don't need to do that. But believe me, I read through every user manual for every device that I review, and sometimes even I will find a tidbit in there that I didn't know. And sometimes it can make a difference between you or someone you love getting hurt or not getting hurt. I'm not going to read all this to you, but I'm going to go over a couple of the things. For starters, it tells you how to install the batteries. Now in my case, you just pull this end off, you slide your batteries in there. I always use lithium batteries. I think they work better than alkaline. They cost more, but they last a lot longer. So just push that on there, and it says it'll go to its home position after you do that. I've had a couple times that I took the batteries out, put them back in, it didn't go to its home position, so I don't understand that. But that's one of the negatives I got, but it's very minor. Things that it says it will do. It says it's suitable to open regular and vacuum style glass screw top jars. Do you get that? Regular and vacuum style glass screw top jars. And then there's a list of things that you're not supposed to use it on. Things like not to use it on canning jars. Now I used it on this canning jar, and I can tell you it did take the ring off, but you still got your seal there. It will not take that off. But it did take the ring off, even though it tells you not to use it on canning jars. But you know, use that at your own risk. Don't do it because I said to. It says not to use it on jars with a lid smaller in diameter than 1.2 inches. These drink bottles are like 1.1 inches in diameter, so they're a little bit smaller than what it says it will do. I did find that it would take that lid off for me, but it may or may not work on something on those lids for you. Let's see, I think that's most of what I wanted to review or go over for you. They do have a troubleshooting section in here if you have problems. But one other thing, if you have a jar like this, and I think this pickle jar had a ring around it, a plastic ring. If you have a jar with that plastic ring, make sure you remove that before you try to open the jar. Now to open a jar, and I'm going to be honest with you, one of the things I found aggravating about this thing is the way it turns on and turns off. This jar here is mayonnaise. It has not been opened before, and it is a plastic jar. That's another thing they say, do not use plastic jars. But I'm going to try this anyway. Just set it on top. If you just do that, it's not going to work. There's a review on YouTube where the guy just keeps doing this and it don't work, and he finally gets around to he reads the instructions. Well, I read the instructions first. It says hold this for 5 to 7 seconds, and once the sides grip the jar, you should be able to release the button. So let's do that. These sides are coming in, they're gripping the bar. Now I can release the button. The little grippers inside are gripping the lid now. Now these side ones get a little bit better grip, and that's going to start. There, it just loosened the lid. And this jar I had not previously opened. There it goes. And it says it'll go back to its home position after that. Maybe mine's defective, but it doesn't do that. I can mash the button. As you can see, it's just turning more. I don't know what it's doing there. It looks like it's finally going back to home position. According to the instructions, it's supposed to go back to the home position where everything opens up automatically. This one generally does not do that. So I consider that a bit of a negative. But the positive is I got it back to its home position and it did open my jar. Still got a seal. I had not, taken that lid off before. All right, let's try one more. Let's try this pickle jar. Now this has not been opened today. I did open another pickle jar, but not this one. So let's put it on here, mash the button. And this is the kind of jar it's supposed to really work on. It's a glass jar with a good lid. All right, and there it's supposed to remove the lid. They do tell you to hold the bottom. It sounded like it really struggled there, but it loosened that lid just fine. Now let's see if it goes back to home position. Now this time it's going back to its home position. I don't know why it doesn't do that sometimes. I have had trouble, got my pickles now. I have had trouble where it didn't go back to its home position, and if that happens, you can just hold the button and run it until it gets back out. The instructions say when you first install the batteries, it'll go to its home position. I've tried that before. Sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. So I like it. I think it works well. I think my mom will find this very handy and very useful for her. But sometimes it can be a little aggravating, but in the end it does work. Now let's try something else. This is, actually let's try a different. I was practicing with that earlier, but I got another A1 bottle here. That lid has never been removed. I'm gonna see if it'll take this off. It's just a hair bigger than the drink bottle. So let's see if it'll take that off. Set it on top, mash the button and hold it 5 to 7 seconds is what they say. But they also say until these reach the bottle. So that may take a little more than 5 to 7 seconds sometimes. If you stop too soon, it may stop and it may not. I don't know what it's doing. That now it's gripping the top, but it still hasn't gripped the bottle. Now it's continuing to grip the bottle. Now it's gripping the top. Okay, did you see that? It did not open this because the grippers slid on the bottle. I have found that to happen more frequently on these smaller bottles. I've had it happen a couple times. Now, I don't know what it's doing now. It just started going again. I don't know if it loosened that lid or not. I guess it's going back home now. And it did finally loosen it some, but not all the way. But a bottle like this, I have found that it tends to slide on the neck because it doesn't grip it tight enough. The instructions also say if you take a bottle out of the refrigerator and it's got condensation on the outside, it's more likely not to grip the bottle. But I did find it to work fairly well. Now this drink bottle, sometimes it works, sometimes not. Let's try this right quick. I know I'm taking a lot of time here, but let's see if this works. Okay, I've had it open one and miss on one, so let's just see what happens. I can't say it's not going to be reliable on your drink bottles unless you get one that works better than this one. And there it goes. It's turning, it's loosening the lid. There it's finishing and going back to home position. And that lid is loose. So it worked on that. Now one thing it didn't work on was this pickle jar. The reason was the jar was too big. It has limits for how big of a jar it can open. So that was a negative. It wouldn't open that pickle jar there. But like I said, it opens most everything. Some things it may be inconsistent with opening, but most everything it will open. And as I said earlier, sometimes I had trouble that when it finished, it didn't go back to its home position, but if you just mash the button and hold it, you can get it to cycle back to home. So that was another bit of a negative. So in the end, I do like this. I think my mom will find it very useful, considering she can't use her right arm at the moment. And I'll put a link in the description where you can purchase one of these if you'd like. And if you enjoyed my video, I'd really appreciate it if you click like and share. And looks like my dehydrator here is about finished. I got some, right on cue, I got some pepperoni, and not pepperoni, I forget now what it is. Pastrami. Got some pastrami in there dehydrating, so I got to take that out now. But anyway, at this point, I'd just like to say thank you for visiting Cooking and Storing with Ann and Wayne, and I hope you enjoyed our video of this RoboTwist electric jar opener.